Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Wednesday, March the 12th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local market is set to extend its losses today with ASX futures down around 1%. Futures were indicating an even sharper drop before the late recovery on Wall Street, prompted in part by news that Ukraine had agreed to a ceasefire with Russia. Taking a look, recovery was not enough to turn markets positive, with investor sentiment dominated with concerns about an economic slowdown under President Trump's tariff policies. The S&P 500 fell into correction during the session from its mid-February high, as the president said he would double tariffs on all imported Canadian steel and aluminium products to 50%. Apple, the most valuable US company, slid, taking its 5-day losses to more than 6%. Tesla managed to reverse some of its recent losses, having tumbled around 15% the previous session. Oracle fell after the cloud company missed quarterly revenue estimates. Coal shares plummeted after forecasting a bigger than expected drop in annual comparable sales. And Dick's Sporting Goods also fell after the retailer forecast downbeat annual results. Delta Airlines continued to lose altitude after the carrier slashed its first quarter profit estimates by half. American Airlines also slumping, having forecast a bigger than expected first quarter loss. And negative sentiment in the travel sector saw Airbnb among the worst performers, as hotels, resorts and other travel companies fell. And Citi has become the latest broker to revise its stance on US stocks, downgrading its recommendation to neutral. Well, the United States has agreed to resume military aid and intelligence sharing with Ukraine after it said it would accept a US proposal for a 30-day ceasefire in its conflict with Russia. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the US will now take their offer to Russia. This was after President Trump continued to rattle markets by slapping an additional 25% tariff on all US steel and aluminium imports from Canada, bringing the total tariff on those products to 50%. But then his administration later said those hikes would no longer take effect. Meanwhile, Australia has failed in its bid for tariff exemptions on its aluminium and steel exports to the United States. Adding to concerns about tariffs, Tuesday's data showing US small business confidence dropped for a third straight month in February, wiping away much of the gains notched after Trump's November election victory. The US 2-year Treasury yield rose to 3.93%, while the 10-year was up to 4.29%. Markets pricing in 0% chance the Fed funds rate will be cut at next week's Fed meeting, but a 40% chance by May. And investor attention now turns to inflation data tomorrow that could shed light on the future path of US interest rates. The US dollar index is lower, while the euro is at a 5-month high after Ukraine agreed to a 30-day ceasefire proposal. The Aussie is trading at 63 US cents. And Bitcoin has recovered some of its recent losses to be trading around 83,000 US dollars. Taking a look at commodity prices, they're broadly high. Brent crude futures settling around 0.5% higher at $69 a barrel. Copper jumping more than 2.5%, while iron ore was up more than 0.5% to 102 US dollars a tonne. And gold gained around 1% amid weaker US dollar and economic slowdown concerns. Spot gold at $2,917 an ounce. No notable data to consider locally today. Among the stocks trading ex-dividend are Breville and Brambles, while there are investor briefings from Deterra, Macquarie Group, Origin, Telix and WA1 Resources. That is your day ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow.